Years in the future, not many. A wayward vagabond wanders the desolate sands of a long-dead planet, making a dotted line of tracks, stretching out miles behind him, the sun beating down from above. The only relief from the rays are his tattered garb, once a symbol of his rebellion, now sun-bleached and dusty. In the distance, our hero sees a hatch. The wayward vagabond's pace picks up. It feels like he's cooking inside his carapace, and finds himself longing for the cool, dusky streets of his old city home. His black, shining skin isn't fit for the desert sun. The hatch is pure white, and turns, groaning as the vagabond pulls it open. Instantly relief finds him as the sun dies away. Beneath the hatch is a ladder, down which our vagabond climbs into the dimly lit recess below. Eyes adjusting, the vagabond squints. His assessment of the space is that of some kind of lab. He's never been one for science himself, but any place out of the blazing sun is fine by him. Curiously, and with nothing better to do, he traipses inside. Within is a smallish room, outfitted with panels, dials, and screens foreign to him. The room is dominated by a massive console, with a keyboard attached, with 4 screens arranged oddly. One screen, to his surprise, is lit. On the screen, the vagabond sees... well, he's not quite sure what he sees. He thinks it's some kind of boy. Approaching the keyboard, he types. Maybe this boy can hear him. "Boy," he types. No response. "Answer me, boy," he types. The boy looks confused, but other than this, he is motionless. The boy appears to be doing battle with imps. Curious. The vagabond slides down his hood, looking around the room in earnest. What luck! Inside of a panel on the wall, there are dozens of cans, each labeled to his delight with a different foodstuff. And, even luckier, deeper in the panel... No. Can it be? The vagabond's face lights up. Tab. Yes. Fucking score. Those pink cans of fizzy beverage never looked so wonderful to him. He greedily takes a can from the alcove and cracks it open. He's never been so happy to hear the hiss of carbonation. It's warm, but the vagabond hardly cares. He tilts the can back, sipping lustfully. But he can't stop at one, oh no. Before long, cans of tab dot the floor, the vagabond sloshing with the fizzy drink. He leans on the wall and sits. A feast for a king, not a shred of remorse. It strikes him that perhaps this tab belonged to the owner of the lab, but he wisely reasons that if these chumps didn't want their tab stolen, they should have locked that shit down. The vagabond looks back up at the screen. The boy is still faffing about pointlessly. Is this some form of entertainment? Sloshing to his feet, the vagabond carries himself to the console again, trying once more to type. You know what? You're now the wayward vagabond. You deserve it. Are you a boy or a girl? You type. You can't tell from this distance, really. Answer me! This question seems to register something with the screen child. Unfortunately, it seems to aggravate him. Them? Her? She, he, they, it clutches her, his, their, its head angrily. Never mind, you hastily type. This seems to calm it, she, they, he down. What a touchy person. What are you doing? You ask. This also seems to aggravate the child to a lesser degree. It appears your words are getting beamed into his very head on some subconscious level. No use trying to establish communique then. Best just to give some helpful suggestions. Open tab, you helpfully suggest. The on-screen child recoils in disgust, but he walks back into what appears to be his domicile, checking a large trunk containing food items. No! You insist as he withdraws a metallic pouch reading Capri Sun. Tab! You irritably hit enter several more times, but this just confuses your new friend. What a bozo. Doesn't even have tab in the hunger trunk. You decide to ignore this frivolous child of indeterminate gender. This place is pretty nice. Maybe you'll live here from now on. Eke out a life living on the fat of the land in an abandoned lab. The fat of the land, in this case, being the cans in the alcove. You yawn. You've been walking for a long time, and you're pretty tired. Still, you probably shouldn't fall asleep in case of the vengeful tab owner's return. To protect against potential aggressors, you search the room for a weapon to fashion. The best you can find is a rusty shard taped to a yardstick. This ought to be decent for poking. You're used to using improvised weapons from your days after the war, after all. You take some stray cables and fashion a sheath of sorts, doubling as a sash. Oh, this brings you back. You used to wear a sash. Granted, not one made of cables, but still, it's nostalgic. You tear the label from a mayo can and stick it to your sash, using some chalk inside the alcove to add the letter R to the label. Yes, haha, you're the mayor. That's right, the mayor of Cantown, a wonderful, bustling metropolis of tin and vigor. You snap out of your ridiculous shenanigans when you hear the hatch above you squeak. Oh, fuck. Looks like the tab owner is back. You grip your mighty spear, not just the shitty yardstick, and prepare for battle. Down the ladder comes a tall, white figure. You're a pretty short fella yourself, but that doesn't scare you.
Hello?
A voice calls. It's nervous and wary, but it also seems rather tired. The voice of someone whose soul has been crushed by some back-breaking labor. Hello? You respond tentatively. Friend or foe? You demand.
What?
The voice sounds even more tired. It enters the lab room, and you get a good look. Friend or foe? You repeat. The white-shelled woman groans.
What am I supposed to say? Foe? Friend, put down the yardstick.
Well, now you feel foolish. You hesitantly drop the spear, sensing no danger from this beleaguered woman. Who are you? You demand, trying to regain authority.
I'm the post minister, she says, then corrects herself. Well, now I'm not anything. I got fired, I guess.
That's rough, you admit.
On my third day, too, she says miserably, looking around.
It appears the lab is new to her, too.
Do you live here?
She asks. You nod, but you only nod tentatively. As of, recently, you say, guarded.
It's...
You see the postminister struggle to find a compliment. When it fails, she admits,
shitty.
I suppose, you admit. You don't know why you're being defensive. You literally just got here.
Are you from Durst?
She asks.
Well, I guess that's obvious. I'm from Prospect. Are you...
She looks at your sash.
A mayor?
Oh! You hastily stow your spear, adjusting your sash proudly. No, it's an honorary title, bestowed upon me by the residents of Cantown.
Okay,
she says. Her tone seems unimpressed, which makes you deflate.
Who's that?
She asks, pointing at the screen. Ah, you say in a stentorian voice, waving at the screen with your hand. That is my collaborator. I correspond with him and assist them with important decisions.
Okay,
she says again, still unenthused. She takes a closer look, squinting at the screen.
That looks like someone I know,
she says. Really? You say, inching closer.
Yes, the Heir of Breath, one of our dreamers. You have dreamers on Durst, too, right?
Indeed, you say, looking closer. I thought the heir was a woman, you say.
Maybe this is her brother, she reasons.
You seem sharp, Miss Former Minister, you say, hands on your hips. How would you like to be appointed my own honorary postmistress? The white woman seems to scowl.
I don't know. I do love the mail, but my post days are over. These days I'm but a peregrine mendicant.
That's a depressing title, you say.
So is being the mayor of nothing, she retorts. It's not cruel, it's just matter of fact. You sigh. Looks like this is your new roommate, even though she seems kind of like a downer. No matter, it's been ages since you've seen anyone.
Where are we? You ask.
Earth, she says simply. A planet called that, according to what I found.
Earth,
you repeat thoughtfully.
Sounds boring.
Your mendicant roommate shrugs. It was destroyed years in the past, but not many, or so I'm told. Exiles from Prospect Durs are sent here to wander forever.
Looks like that's our fate,
you say solemnly.
It's not so bad, I suppose. We have Mayo, after all.
According to what I found, the place used to be inhabited. But a while ago, meteors struck it and killed everything. Sometimes stray meteors still hit the sand. They say portals come from the sky and deposit them.
That sounds like Skya,
you say, to which she nods. How did you get exiled? The Prospedian interloper asks. You lean on the wall and swallow. She senses this is a sensitive topic for you, but doesn't rescind her question.
I was a revolutionary, you say. I started war against the kings.
Oh, she says. That was foolish.
How did you get here, then?
You quickly change the topic. I couldn't deliver a message, she shrugs. I don't think it was possible to begin with. You cross your arms. That seems pretty harsh to you, and she seems to sympathize with your revolutionary sentiments. No one really likes the monarchs. Maybe you two have more in common than you thought. You try to smile at her, but your grimace only makes her cringe in disgust. No matter. Everything's dead now, she shrugs. You figure she's right. No use mourning strangers, you reason. You both snap from your stupor, however, as you hear the hatch above turn again. Another friend? The mendicant asks, but falls silent as she sees you draw your mighty spear.
Possibly,
you say, hissing quietly as Carapace's feet descend the stairs.
Or possibly a foe.
You are no longer the wayward vagabond.
You are now Jacob Harley. The year is 1991, a banner year indeed for you. For you, Jacob Harley, globe-trotting scientist, stud, and star of the hit television program Jacob's World, have made two life-changing acquisitions. The first, a massive island off the coast of Hawaii that is home to a set of ruins just aching for the plundering. Oh, you mean exploration. The second, more curiously, a baby. A baby that had, upon your arrival to the island, fallen from the sky riding upon a meteor. But hey, you're not one to look a gift horse in the gob, are you? Even if the meteor this particular baby was piloting did smash into the boat you'd used to get here. Not ideal. Luckily for you, you'd sent ahead for a base camp to be set up on the island, giving you and your new baby shelter for the night.
Well, aren't you a handsome thing? You say, admiring the baby with a twinkle in your eye. It coos at you and gazes up with those deep green eyes.
You've never been one for kids yourself, but how hard can raising this little scamp be?
Say now,
you say, leaning in case the baby can understand you.
You're not from the planet Krypton, are you? Oh, just asking. Here, can you bend this in half?
Testing to see if the baby you found is indeed Superman, you place the baby on a large steel I-beam that the construction crew left after building your home. The baby whines, patting its hands on the I-beam.
Drat,
you say, snapping your fingers.
Worth a shot. I guess you're just a run-of-the-mill humdrum garden variety bog standard sky baby. How boring.
You place the boring baby back on the table. You've fashioned a pair of diapers for it and a shirt you tore up, but you seriously hope it doesn't shit all over them. Maybe you lucked out and got a non-shitting baby.
I shall call you Jade, you announce.
The baby blinks those eyes.
For your eyes are the loveliest jade green, aren't they? Yes, they are.
You coo at the baby like you've seen your ex-wives do before. See, this baby business would be easy.
Wouldn't you know it, Jade? But I myself came from the sky. Myself and my sister, that is.
You pick Jade up, carrying her to the kitchen.
Easy, Beck,
you say jovially as your dog leaps up and tries to sniff the bundle you have in your hands. You place little Jade into Beck's dog carrier, lacking any crib or secure playpen as of yet. Beck whines, seeming somewhat dubious.
Oh, don't look at me like that, boy. There's blankets in there, see? And some Toys. By toys, of course, you're referring to the spent pistol casings which Jade is now gnawing on. See? She loves them. Beck looks at you, green electricity crackling on its fur. Beckrel Harley, your trusted pooch companion. You've had him since long as you can remember, a gift from your grandmother, a grandmother you absolutely despise. Beck was the only nice thing that witch Betty Crocker ever did for you. He's a bit odd as dogs go, but he's loyal as can be. You watch little Jade here while I pop off to the ruins, boy, you say, petting Beck's fur. Shouldering your rifle, you set off towards the lagoon. By trade, you're an entertainer, but your true passion and field of study is archaeology, a field which has summarily rejected you over the years. Countless colleagues have looked down on your total and utter disrespect for artifacts and their namby-pamby rules. They might enjoy playing in the dirt to find pottery, but you, on the other hand, have different methods. Methods you can employ now, walking boldly into the maw of the ruins, holding a torch in one hand and a gun in the other. You can't just go on island and tromp around in some ruins like Indiana Jones, you say, mockingly repeating the words your college said to you. Ha! Shows them. The frog ruins, as they've come to be known, were discovered in 1954, the very year of your birth, by your own grandmother, Betty Crocker. What that old oven-jockey hag was digging up in these ruins is beyond you, but it appears that back then she'd been looking for them for some time. Whatever she'd been looking for, she never told you, but it drove you mad for years. She told you are never allowed to set foot on that island, and, as everyone knows, parents telling you not to do something was a surefire way to get you to do that thing. You'd begged and pleaded others to take you to the island just to spite the witch and visit, but no one would. It was only through amassing a fortune as a TV star on National Geographic that you'd been able to make enough money to come yourself. And now that you're here, inside the ruins your grandmother had forbidden you from entering, well, truth be told, it's kind of a letdown. After a simple walk down a corridor, you find yourself in a room. Just a room. One single room. The room is cavernous, a large flower blooming in the middle of it with various stone carvings and platforms dotted around. No pottery, no books, no anything. Just a bunch of junk. There has to be a secret to this place, you decide, and with your torch you set about searching the frog ruins. You slide your hands over the walls carefully, searching for indentations and secret compartments, but you find none as you search clockwise. Looks like whatever was down here was plundered by dear Grandma all those decades ago. What a fucking ripoff. You inspect one of the pedestals on the floor. Oddly, it looks metallic, even though the ruins date back to before the Stone Age. You kick one with your foot, dust exploding from it dramatically from the jolt. Odder still, there's a plaque on the wall above the pedestal that reads, "The Land of Wind and Shade." What is this, Alice in Wonderland? You scoff aloud. Did Grandma put these here? That didn't seem right. She was never into esoterica like this, but on the other hand, this architecture wasn't modern, or maybe not of this world. You step on the pedestal. All of a sudden, like a stun grenade going off, your vision goes white and you hear a ringing deep inside your ears. You double over and fall forward, expecting to feel the hard stone ruins under your hands, but you don't. Under your hands is grass, and above you the sky is dark gray and dotted with tiny lights. What in the blue blazes? You cry, instinctively reaching for big medicine. Around you is a forest, but none like you've ever seen upon the earth. The bark of the trees is ash gray, and the leaves are navy blue, just like the grass. You look behind you. This is Alice in Wonderland, you hiss, eyes narrowing. Are you lost? Says a voice from behind you. You whirl around, brandishing your gun at the voice, but to your surprise, it's a person. Not a human person, but clearly a person. Clad in gold robes with bright white hard-looking skin, gazing up at you with frightened eyes. Who are you? You demand through your bristling mustache. I'm Miss Paint, says the person thing, raising her hands defensively. Is that a gun? Of course it's a bloody gun, you say, incredulous. It's a .405 Winchester, circa 1885. Oh, says Miss Paint. You roll your eyes. Now you're sure this is a woman, since she doesn't understand guns. And of course I'm lost. I come from Earth, see? Earth. Where am I now? Some space alien planet? You're on the land of wind and shade, Miss Paint says worriedly. But you can't go back to Earth. Earth was destroyed, wasn't it? That's where we send exiles. There's nothing there but wasteland. Earth isn't destroyed. It's perfectly fine. You think for a moment.
You must be thinking of a different Earth.
Oh, Miss Paint says again. Well, either way, sir, I can help you get back. She bites her lip. You lower your weapon, pinching the bridge of your nose.
Let me guess, you say tiredly. You need me to do something for you first.
Miss Paint nods solemnly. You are no longer Jacob Harley. Homestuck Alternate Universe is written by Funk McLovin. Act 1 art is by James Webb Comics. Voice acting is done primarily by Bucky, Alter Universe Wash, aka Janaya, and articulately composed. A special thanks to the current VFP patrons, Susa Brees, Kaleidoscope Mediator, and Elizabeth. Subscribe to patreon.com/funkmclovin to get early access to episodes, downloadable episodes, and behind-the-scenes content, including music and podcasts. And don't forget to check us out on Archive of Our Own and MSPFA. Special thanks to Andrew Hussie for writing Homestuck. And thank you for watching.